Hey guys, I'm outside today because my mom gave me two dwarf tomato plants that I'm gonna try to keep alive over the winter. Isn't that exciting? I will have to provide them supplemental light because there's not enough light to sustain them in my dreary Indiana winter. But I've been growing things for quite some time now, so I have lots of little lights around here and there and everywhere. But I kind of wanted to rant with you while I did this because I know you guys will get it. We went on a field trip for my kids' homeschool co-op. We went to the local apple orchard. I had been visiting this apple orchard for years and years. It's been around for over 100 years, whatever. So we're there and I ask the person doing the tour if they had, because y'all know I'm getting ready to put in tons of fruit trees. And so I wanted to pick their brain about what they thought some good disease-resistant plants were, because obviously I'm going to grow them organically and I'm not spraying them with pesticides and chemicals all the time. Because in a traditional orchard, they are spraying all the time. But I just was like my regular kind self, and I asked if she had any suggestions because I didn't want to spray my trees, and I wanted to know if she had any good suggestions on disease-resistant varieties. And she just like gave me a blank stare and says no, with like a weird pause after, and I was like, oh, okay. I know I can read things online about it, but I didn't know, since we're in the same area, if you had any that you recognize that they grow a little bit easier. And she was like, you can't do it. It's impossible. Which are the phrases that get me going, because I can and I will, and I'll prove it. Go away. Go away. Sorry if it's getting loud. My turkeys think that I have tell me that every organic grower she's ever known sprays 10 times, no, she specifically in her words said 3,000 times more than she does with their organic chemicals, she said. And so anyway, she was just kind of maybe she was having a bad day, I don't know, maybe she felt some type of way, like I was attacking her or something, I don't know. And I asked her, like, nonchalantly, well, what do you recommend spraying then? She wouldn't tell me what it was, so I'm sure it's bad. And they spray their apple orchard every 3 weeks, she said. Like, that was supposed to shock me at how little she sprayed. I don't know. I just don't want to poison the earth, the ground, my family. I love the smell. I'm getting sidetracked. I love the smell of patchouli, and it's won't survive the winter in my zone. Barely survived the summer, if I'm being honest, because I forgot about it. But I'm picking off all the bad leaves right now, and I'm hoping that with a little TLC as a houseplant, she will survive. It does smell heavenly, but it's just sticks right now. In case one dies, I have another one, and this one looks slightly better, so. But anyway, where was I at with the orchard story? She basically was convinced that there's no other way to do it, and there's no point in trying because it won't work. What she didn't understand, and what I knew I wasn't even going to waste my time in saying, because I could just see her body language. She was very closed off. In her system, she might need to spray because she's monocropping apple trees. They're not interplanted with anything. It's grass pathways, and I can see where they're spraying like herbicide in the wall or underneath the trees, and there's no life there. There's sterile trees, sterile ground. I'm sure there's not many bugs because she's frequently spraying. There's no predators for the pests. There's nothing. There's no life there. Or what we're trying to do here and what the permaculture world is doing, it could be so much better. Ecosystems aren't made up of one single thing, of one single crop, of one single animal, of one single anything. We're all a part of a bigger ecosystem, I guess. And what I would have told her if she would have been willing to listen was that I'm interplanting species. It's never going to be apple tree, apple tree, apple tree, apple tree all the way down the row. I'm going to mix it in with shrubs and fruiting plants and nitrogen fixing plants, attractants for beneficials, ecosystems for them, homes for them to live in, bird houses, just all of these things that are necessary for a full system to work and thrive with little management. What I would have told her if she was willing to listen was that I'm integrating the animals with my plantings so that they can eat the spent things on the ground, so that bugs aren't overwintering in the apples that dropped on the ground, because my pigs will eat them, my chickens will eat them. I'll toss them over the fence to the cows. But sometimes people are so one-track minded, it's so frustrating. Like there's another way, there's a better way. So while it was frustrating and I have not stopped thinking about that interaction, I just keep repeating over and over again, you know, the things that you could have said, or it probably wouldn't have done anything anyway. But I did want to say, the smart aleck in me wanted to be like, well, I guess, you know, 200 years ago when everybody had home orchards, they just didn't have any fruit at all because you can't do it without pesticides. Or chemical fertilizer or whatever, because she also was going to tell me her, I don't know. What I do know is that I'm going to try to grow these inside. But I'll tell you, never once has someone telling me I can't do something discouraged me out of doing the thing that I wanted to do. If anything, it lights the fire. So, thank you. While I have the camera on, I guess I'll show you what I'm doing right now. So, I keep these big pots. I planted mint in them 1 year, which means every year after that, they will always be mint, which is fine. This is a variety that is absolutely divine. Probably my favorite mint of all time. It's chocolate mint. And truly, it smells like the best mint chocolate chip ice cream you've ever had. So, what I am doing with it before the frost comes, this is perennial in my zone. Mint is super hardy anyway. It's perennial in a lot of people's zones. But what I'm going to do before it dies back for the winter and I lose all of this beauty is just trim it off willy-nilly, however I want to, and stuff it into a mason jar like this, because we are going to create chocolate mint extract. So basically, extracts are tinctures. I would use those words interchangeably. Both of the things are meant to extract the properties of the plant from them. So in a tincture, when you call it a tincture though, you're thinking about all the medicinal benefits. I'm thinking about making delicious mint chocolate chip ice cream, raw milk ice cream with this. So all I'm going to do, and all you have to do, is to make an extract, no matter what kind of mint or herb that you have, is you get a jar. There's a hornet that has been attacking me this whole day. I think it's in my hair. Anyway, the benefit of using alcohol to extract it is that you don't have to dry the herb first. You literally just stuff your jar. This is as much as I would put in this one probably. And cover it in a high proof alcohol of your choosing. Normally people choose vodka because it is neutral. But if you wanted a flavor, you could do like brandy or rum or any of those things and create probably the best baked goods you've ever made with your own peppermint extract or chocolate mint or pineapple mint, whatever you got. Oh, this is the perfect time. This is how my brain works. I have a undiagnosed ADD, probably. But I just remembered that I gotta get my Amazon package out of my car. Hold on. So I recently bought this on Amazon. I don't know why I was prompted to do it this late in the season and not at the beginning when I could have been using it all season, but I can use it next year. I bought an herb dryer. They weren't kidding when they said it. I love to read reviews of things, and they said it literally exploded in my face, and it does. Now how am I going to hang this? The other day I started to load my dehydrator and I just kept thinking like there's got to be a better way because I don't have a very big dehydrator. My other one that I had before, it pooped out on me, and I found this on Amazon. I'm no way affiliated. I bought it with my own money. But it's huge. This is like a 6-foot tall herb dryer and it has all different layers and they'll all be kept separate. And I have the perfect place to put it inside my high tunnel because it gets nice and hot and dry in here. So, this is how I will be drying lots of herbs next year, but also drying what I have left of the season this year. And you can see I've got some trees here that the grafts never took, but the rootstock is still alive, so I'm going to keep it and overwinter it. But behind these, we have this big, beautiful rosemary that I'm so glad I dug out of the ground before winter last year, kept it inside as a houseplant. Then I just stuck it in the tunnel because rosemary likes hot and dry climates. It's a Mediterranean plant. And now I get to cut it back a little bit before I take it inside. But this keeps me in rosemary indefinitely, for one. For two, rosemary is not hardy in my zone. It'll die over the winter. I think it's hardy to like a zone 7 or 8, I believe. So I'm just going to trim her back a little. And I will dry all of this rosemary. And then, once I move the chickens in the high tunnel, because we are going to house our poultry in the tunnel this winter, I'll have to move it inside because they will eat it. If you want to keep rosemary alive and you're in a cold place like me, treat it like a house plant. Last year when I took it in, it was a tiny little stick. And look at her now. It's beautiful. We're going to grow a bush here. I'm actually going to pot this rosemary up while I'm already doing potting up chores. Because if I tell myself I'll do it later, I never ever will. But you can see she's outgrown her pot. There. Beautiful. But anyway, I guess the moral of today's story is that if anyone tells you that it can't be done, you absolutely can do it. You should do it. Prove them wrong. Chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides have only been around less than 100 years. It started in World War II. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But what were they doing before? Was no one just growing food? Was everyone just unsuccessful and riddled? And crop failure after crop failure because of... No! There are systems in place, in nature already. God gave us absolutely everything that we need to succeed and things to grow and thrive and live. We've just lost it over time. I don't know what has happened in our society that, like, faster is better. Everyone's just looking for the easy button, maybe. I'm not sure. In actuality, it's a lot more expensive and a lot harder to do it that way. Maybe those of us in this space were made for a time such as these to show people that it is possible, that you can do it no matter where you are on the planet. Anyway, so I didn't leave that conversation feeling defeated. Actually, the opposite. I just had to get on here and rant because I know my people will understand where I'm coming from. But thank you guys for watching. Until next time.